All right, today we're jumping right into a diplomatic firestorm that's erupted between Pakistan and Israel. What started as a war of words is now threatening to completely derail some critical peace talks between the US and Iran, and honestly, the stability of the whole region is kind of hanging in the balance.
And this is the statement that really lit the fuse. On Thursday, Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif posted this on the social media platform X. I mean, it's a sharp, totally unprecedented attack that instantly kicked off an international incident. So how on earth did we get here?
So, to really get the full picture, we're going to break this all down into 5 key parts. We'll kick things off with the direct war of words, then we'll look at the conflict in Lebanon that actually sparked it all. After that, we'll examine Pakistan's, well, pretty controversial role as a mediator, get into the big disagreement over a ceasefire, and then finally explore why these peace talks are now right on the brink of collapse.
Okay, first up, the war of words itself. And let me tell you, this wasn't your typical diplomatic disagreement. This was a really sharp public escalation between officials from 2 countries that don't even have formal ties.
You know, the timing of this statement is absolutely critical. Asif made these incredibly inflammatory remarks while his own country, Pakistan, was supposed to be hosting these crucial peace talks. He actually said that while peace talks are underway in Islamabad, genocide is being committed in Lebanon.
Well, Israel's response was, as you can imagine, swift and direct. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office called the statement outrageous and immediately called into question Pakistan's credibility. The message was crystal clear. You can't be a neutral mediator for peace while you're also calling for our destruction.
And when you put these 2 positions side by side, the conflict is just laid bare. On one side, you have Asif's accusation of genocide and calling Israel a cancerous state, and on the other, Israel's foreign minister firing back, labeling it a blatant anti-Semitic blood libel, and basically arguing that calling the Jewish state cancerous is just a call for its annihilation. So, to even begin to understand Asif's comments, we have to look at the military conflict that prompted them in the first place. This recent, violent flashpoint between Israel and Lebanon.
This timeline really shows you just how fast things escalated. The conflict pulled Lebanon in when Iran-backed Hezbollah fired rockets into Israel. Then, just this week, Israel retaliated with its heaviest strikes of the entire war, which all led to a really devastating day on Wednesday.
And the severity of the situation on the ground, you can't overstate it. Hundreds of people were reported killed in those strikes, and it was this intense human cost that became the immediate backdrop for the Pakistani minister's furious statement.
Which brings us to the third piece of this whole puzzle. Pakistan's surprising, and now, let's be honest, highly controversial role as a mediator in these critical peace talks.
The stakes here are just incredibly high. This isn't just any old diplomatic effort. Islamabad was set to host direct negotiations between the United States and Iran, all aimed at de-escalating a major conflict. So Pakistan's role as the host, as the mediator, was absolutely central to this whole thing.
But here's the thing, even before this whole firestorm, Israel was already skeptical. According to Israel's envoy to India, Tel Aviv already viewed Pakistan with a lot of distrust and didn't really see it as a credible peace broker. Asif's comments just poured gasoline on that fire.
Okay, now for our 4th section, which really gets to the absolute heart of the matter, a fundamental disagreement over the very terms of the ceasefire that was supposed to bring some stability. So at the core of this whole dispute is this huge diplomatic fracture over the ceasefire itself. Pakistan and Iran were claiming the deal included Lebanon, but the US and Israel stated very clearly that Lebanon was not part of that agreement. This completely opposite interpretation is what directly triggered Israel's actions and then Pakistan's outrage. So, all of this leads us to our final and most critical section. The very real possibility that these incredibly important peace talks could just completely fall apart. What we're witnessing here is a potential diplomatic derailment. And this is so much more than just an argument. The escalating language and the fight over what the ceasefire even means are threatening the entire diplomatic effort, and with it, the stability of the entire region. And here's the most immediate fallout. Iranian media is now reporting that Tehran might just suspend its dialogue with the United States. They've laid out a condition. The talks, which were scheduled for this Saturday in Islamabad, will not happen unless Israel stops its military operations in Lebanon. The entire peace process is, right now, hanging by a thread. So, we're left with this massive question. At a time when peace talks feel more critical than ever, the words of the mediators have become weapons themselves, and the very foundation of the truce is crumbling. It really makes you wonder, is there any path forward for diplomacy, or is the region just spiraling closer and closer to a much wider conflict?